I started talking while we're on break, and it hears me even over the music. Mm-hmm. Like my phone was ringing moments ago. It was a client. I will call you back. I promise I will.
You nerd.
I will. No, she's gonna listen to my podcast. But
you're so good at this.
I sometimes forget that. Much like when I'm emceeing Pride, the microphone is still on.
It's still hot, bitch.
It's still a hot mic, you dumbass.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know. But, so we were in Disneyland for 5 days, which I realize for some people sounds like overkill, but it really is not. Because that way we were able to kind of take our time and do our thing, do what we wanted. But here's the other thing I'm going to tell you about the new Star Wars thing. The one ride, the Rise of the Resistance. That's the big be-all, end-all. Everybody wants to do it. It's fantastic. It's great reviews. It breaks down more than, my psyche. Oh. It was, honest to God, we have apps on our phone that tell you what the line is, if the ride is up, if the ride is down. T got notices almost on the hour. This ride's down. It was always that ride. So we decide we're going to just... And there's no fast pass for that. There is, but you have to pay extra for it. So we're like, no, let's just go stand in line. We'll suck it up. We'll stand in the hour-long line. And we're, 10, 15 minutes in. And they come through and go, oh, the ride's broke down. You can wait if you want, but who knows how long it'll be. Yeah. And we're like, no, we're standing in the sun. Yeah. My scalp is sunburned. Yeah. And I'm miserable. And I'm like...
people.
No. Well... I have some patches on top where I've lost some hair, so that's a whole nother story. But having a burnt scalp, every time the sun touches it, it just hurts. And I was like, oh. So I'm whimpering and crying. And I was like, no, I'm not standing in the sun. Because I'm a big baby. I'm not going to stand in the sun.
Sure.
And plus, I'm alabaster white. Well, I'm not anymore, as you can see. Mm-hmm. Even with SPF 50, I got dark brown. No. Anyhow... So, the last day we were there, we're like, we've got to do this ride today. Because this is it. So, we're like, suck it up. We got there as the park opened. It was a 70-minute wait the minute the park opened.
Oh, my God.
Because everybody floods there. So, we're like, screw it. We're going to do it. We're going to stand in this stupid line. And the line's moving along very nicely. And the queue area is, well, when you're inside is more entertaining. When you're outside, it's less. You're just outside. But most of it's undercover, so you're cooler. Yeah. We get, and it's clipping along, and I'm like, okay, here we go. We're moving. Mm-hmm. And then the line stops. And I was like, this is not a good omen. No. If the line has stopped, that means this goddamn ride's broken down again. And T's like, well, I haven't got a notification. Oh, there it is. The ride's broken down. Well, and then you see people, you hear the announcement, we don't know how long it'll take to fix, you can stay in line if you want to, blah, 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 blah. If you've used your, little extra pay fast pass to get in here, you'll just come back at a later time. Yeah. Well, so we're like, no, we're not jumping line, we've got to stay here, we got to see this through to the end. Yeah. And we were in line for probably... between 70 and 90 minutes. A long time.
Holy shit.
A long frickin' time. And so, of course, I'm standing there thinking, this better be worth it. Uh-huh. This better be worth this long goddamn line. What's funny is as soon as that thought passed through my brain, and I didn't say it out loud, my son comes over and is like, don't worry, Mama. It'll be worth it. I was like, did you just read my mind? I'm like, or just read my very sour face at that moment. Yeah. Girl, it was worth it.
Was that?
It was worth it. It was... the most inventive, high-tech ride. And it was several... I see now why it breaks down so much, because it's several moving parts. Uh-huh. Because you go into the first part, and stuff happens. And I'm not going to give away anything, because I think it was best for me that it was a surprise. You go into the first part, and stuff happens, and then they take you out of there, and take you to the second part, where more stuff happens. And I will tell you that you are prisoners of the... the bad people. You are the Rebel Alliance. Mm. And then they take you, I think, 3 or 4 separate places, and each one, stuff happens. Uh-huh. And it's amazing. Uh-huh. And I was like, okay, all right. I would rather not ever stand in line for an hour and a half.
No.
But it was good.
That's so funny. I actually was just talking to my therapist yesterday, because we're talking about being impatient, and she was like, do you wait in lines? And I'm like, do I wait in lines? No, bitch,
No.
never. And it was like about a decade and a half ago. It's like we came up with a little slogan, and it was "Lines are for losers," and I kind of refused to wait in lines ever since. I'm very impatient, just in case you're wondering.
Same. I hate it. Mm-hmm. Well, and they do now have some things. Some of the rides. If you're one of the handicapped people like myself, that they will give you basically an appointment to return. Because the ones that don't have fast pass lines and are not handicap friendly, which the older ones in Disneyland, especially the ones in Fantasyland, none of them are handicap friendly. But they're like, okay, the line is this long. You can, if the line's 20 minutes long, you can just come back in 20 minutes. So you can go do something else so you don't have to stand in line. Perfect with me. Yeah. Obviously, I forgot to shut off the clock today.
That's fine.
I've forgotten everything. I forgot to shut off my clock. Forgot to shut off my phone.
Forgot to put the dogs
Sorry
away.
about it. Forgot to put the dogs away. They are away, so you will not hear them barking. And if you do, I can't help that. They're in their beds. They're supposed to be going at night.
Me too.
But so that was good. At least they have some accommodations there. Yeah. But I do want to share with you something that I found kind of marvelous. I think it was our third night there. We had come home. We came back to our hotel, take a little break, get in the hot tub, sit in the pool, do whatever. Not sit in the pool. It was cold. I wasn't sitting in the pool. I was sitting in the hot tub, and this lady that we were talking to in the hot tub said, "Oh, did you guys hear the protest?" And I was like, "What protest?" And she goes, "Oh, there was a My Body, My Choice protest that walked down the middle of Harbor." And Harbor is the street that's right in front of Disneyland. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear it. I was in the park, and you really are kind of secluded from everything. Mm-hmm. But she said that it was quite a big group, and they marched down the middle of Harbor Boulevard. Excuse me, I almost said Harvard. They didn't go to Harvard. No. They went down Harbor, and which I'm pretty certain they didn't have any kind of permit for, because they just shut down traffic, and that's such a busy road. But she was, and so when we were sitting talking about it, my daughter's like, again, who's 13, like, why are these people protesting? And she said, well, it was the My Body, My Choice in regards to the Roe v. Wade stuff that's happening right now. And so we explained it to her, and she goes, well, that's stupid. And I said, what is stupid? The protest? And she's like, no, that somebody else wants to take away your choice. And I was like, you are correct. That is stupid. But it's been going on forever. It will go on forever. And then the day that we were leaving, we were walking out of our hotel to go to breakfast, and I could hear some racket of people talking very loudly, obviously on some sort of megaphone kind of thing. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, we get out, because our hotel is literally across the parking lot, or across the road from Disneyland. And there are two people, well, we saw two, there may have been more, holding up big signs that says, Disneyland is evil, it's full of pedophiles and sodomites, and they're yelling, don't go in there, it's evil, blah, 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 and it's whatever. It's dark-sided. Gargoyles. Anyway, and my daughter screams at them from the front of the hotel. She's like, shut up, nobody cares. I was very proud. Yeah. At that moment, her brother tried to shush her.
Yeah, of course.
Because he was worried that somebody might hurt her. And, whatever. But it was that whole... then we had to sit at breakfast and have the explanation of, it's okay. Everybody has the right to have their opinion, no matter how stupid we think their opinion is. And obviously, nobody who paid thousands of dollars to be on vacation in Disneyland is going to go, oh, it's evil? You're right. I'm not going to go. I'm going to just lose all that money I spent to bring my children here. Yep. No. And I'm sorry. The queer people that they're all mad about, best part of Disneyland. Yeah. Because a lot of their employees are queer. And I love that. Love. We were, the night we went to see one of the big, it's called the World of Color. It's the water show at California Adventure. You can get reserved spots if you are early enough. So we did, and we got there early, and we're waiting. And this queen who was working there comes up to me, and he's like, what is that on your jacket? And I said, oh, that's Katya. Katya Zamolochkova. If you don't know, drag queen, fantastic, amazing, love her. And he's like, oh my God, I love her. She's so awesome. And then one of the other people working with him was like, is she one of the queens you got to meet when you were doing your show? And I was like, doing your show? I said, so you're a performer? And he's like, yeah, I'm a drag queen. And I was like, a drag queen? What's that? Gross. I never heard of such a thing. And of course my children were like, our mom's a drag queen.
How funny.
You know, and so we had this lengthy and within moments, we had at least 4 or 5 queer employees standing talking to us. It was like, oh, it's like being home.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
I know.
Surrounded by queers. Love that.
I remember maybe like the second time I was Disney was with you, because the first 3 times I went was with you. But I was walking, I don't remember where we were, close to like Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe. And I'm walking, probably with my sister. And one of the Disney employees who was right in front, I'm wearing a Rocky Horror Picture Show t-shirt. And he was like, I love your shirt. And I was like, I know. And just kept walking. Because I was like, duh, of course you do.
Of course you do, queen.
Why would you?
Queen! Yeah. Of course you do.
Exactly.
Because it's a great queer movie.
And you're queer, Mo. I could see it.
Yeah.
You're a queer girl.
I know. I love that. I mean, as we're walking around the park, I'm like, queer, 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 queer. And one of the other things I loved, and I really, after this happened a few times, I wanted to go get little cards printed up that said, you know, as a elder queer,
as an elder queer,
I appreciate your PDA because we saw so many men, couples holding hands and being very affectionate in public. Love that, because it wasn't that long ago that you wouldn't have even seen that, and that. I'm never surprised to see women holding hands because people don't even tend to notice. No. But men holding hands. Yeah. But then we saw some, you know, like younger lesbian couples. Oh my God! But I have to tell you about this one lesbian. I have to because you know how a lot of men and lesbians wear their pants at their hips instead of on their waist. And of course young people do too, but like older folk at the hips. Well, so when you see someone wearing a skirt that wouldn't ordinarily wear a skirt, and they're wearing it at their hip instead of at their waist, it's like, that's not where a skirt goes. No, but this lesbian who is probably, I don't know, or maybe close to my age, but probably a little younger, was wearing her Star Wars skirt because the vertical stripes on it were all what do you call those things? Lightsabers. Yeah. Different colored lightsabers all the way around her. I was like,
how cute.
Really?
How very that.
But it looked so out of place on her. Because I was like, you don't usually wear a skirt. I can tell. Yeah. Because you look very butch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I love that.
But it was so cute. I was like, well, all right, with your Birkenstocks and your
I love that.
Her Star Wars skirt in
her
Star
flannel
Wars
top.
land. Yeah.
And her flannel top.
And her flannel top. No flannel top because it was hot.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was nice to be several days without rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, as I mentioned, I did get sunburned. But,
yeah.
But that's okay. It happens.
Is it okay? Is it okay?
Right. Well, I'm here. I'm alive. I mean, who knows? In 10 years, I'll tell you if I got skin cancer on my noggin from being burned. But, you know.
Right.
But it was nice to see lots and lots of queer people. And, you know, I was going to mention, I mean, this is off that particular topic, and it's so unlike me to go off topic. But I want to give you a little book recommendation. Words are hard today because I, too, have been sick. It's a book that I'm reading, and it's a series of essays, but it's called Between Certain Death and a Possible Future, Queer Writing on Growing Up with the AIDS Crisis. And it's edited by Matilda Bernstein Sycamore. So I recommend you out and get this book. And for those of you who are younger, who didn't actually live through the worst part of the AIDS crisis, I think this would be a really good way to learn about it, because being my age,